Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here. This is going to be bringing you. I'm going to be bringing you Game 2 of the semifinals between Reach and iloveoov. Game 1 was absolutely epic. The history of these players is absolutely epic. I'm just looking forward to more amazing games here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be on the map Pelennor. And we've seen some crazy games on this map. If you don't remember, we'll just remind you, this is the map where inside your main there's a choke point going out to the rest of the world, and there's kind of like a mini half expansion that's like 4 mineral patches, so it's like a little bit extra, but not a full base, no gas, no full minerals. And then there's a high ground ramp that's kind of around the outside where there's a full expansion. And so anyways, just mentioning it because it makes it a little bit difficult to expand on this map. For any race actually, even for Zerg, it's difficult to get out of your main because it's like actually a kind of a long route. There's no one choke point that protects both your main and your raised natural. So that's what makes it difficult. Usually at most maps you have a natural expansion, and then you can kind of protect the natural, and that also by proxy protects your main. Can't do that on this map. So we've seen a lot of one base play on this map. So we've seen some cheeky rush strategies, try and take advantage of the high ground. You have high ground outside the enemy base, that kind of thing. I think we saw Reach do that to Zelos actually, putting cannons like on the high ground or something like that, if I remember correctly. It seems like so long ago. There's been so many games in this Star League. It's hard to remember the details of even such a cool game as that. So, but in any case, so far we're just getting into the normal standard early play. We got gateway. Actually, does he have a gateway? He has a gateway already, right? I can actually see. But yeah, just Barracks Refinery versus Gateway Gas, and so we're gonna see them go into just normal tech builds. You want to get the Dragoons out early. You want to get the factory units out early. So that's what we're gonna see here. Yeah, there's the gateway. We're gonna see the core going down. Nothing too crazy going on here. So I had a lot of rambling to do about the stats of these players in the last game. So I'm out of stats to give right now. But if you missed it, basically, Oov has a 77% win rate versus Terran, and he's beat a lot of the top Terrans. I'm sorry, versus Protoss, he's beaten a lot of the top Protosses. And on the other side, we've got Reach, has a 70% win rate in the last 6 months against Terrans, and he's beaten some of the top Terrans as well. So just the ultimate TVP matchup here, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very excited about this. And so now we have the core finishing, and the factory about to finish as well. We're going to start to see a divergence, or not divergence, but we're going to start to see the direction of the tech that these players are going to go in. And the Marine is looking to try and pick off that probe. He's trying to keep the probe alive as long as possible. He wants to see what happens after the factory. Is there going to be a second factory? Is there going to be a machine shop? Is there going to be a starport? Not able to keep that probe alive long enough to find out. So, and the SCV actually exits as well. Maybe in anticipation. He actually saw the goon range being upgraded though, so he can kind of know what's going on based on that. And he's just going to say, alright, well, Dragoon's going to pop out momentarily and kill off this SCV. I might as well get the SCV out of here and go use it to do something else, something useful. And it looks like he's actually going up to scout, or maybe even build a building in this location of that top middle bit. Okay, oh, actually, he was scouting up there, and the Dragoon has chased him up there, and now is going after the SCV. It looks like the SCV might die, and he actually chooses to go down and to the left to try and escape, rather than over to the right to try and go back into the base, which is a smart move, because there's probably another Dragoon popping out, and we just saw that Dragoon pop out that would have killed it before it could scout, so wise decision. But he did go up and at least scout to see if there was an expansion. He didn't see an expansion down, so he can kind of know what's going on. A nice little marine wall has been built up in order to block any scouting probes from running into his base to see what's going on. But if they did, they would only see a single factory. So he's pushing out with a single factory. This is looks like we're gonna see an FD fake double push. Last game he actually had a real double where he actually had 2 factories. In this case we're seeing a fake double where he's actually pushing out now. That was kind of weird. For some reason I saw the machine shop stop spinning, And I was like, did he cancel something? And I'm like, no, of course he didn't cancel. It's just something finished. So the mines have now finished. And the fact that he didn't make speed first, he went for the mines first, is interesting to note. He's going to be able to put down mines around the map. And what is going on? That's a Stargate, ladies and gentlemen. Reach has built a Stargate off of one base. He might build a second. Is this one base? It's one base carriers. What? One base carrier. Actually, I mean, it might be two base carriers because he still could build a Nexus off of this. And it's really difficult to have enough gas to build carriers off of one base, but it's not impossible. You just can't make as many of them, obviously. But Reach is going. Wow. There's no expansion. We're seeing oov scouting around with those vultures. He's running around every side base, putting mines in the middle of the map, but also putting mines at some of the side bases. I think, actually it's hard to tell. Maybe this is the vultures. We don't see vision actually there. So never mind. He's not mining extra bases, but he's put out his mines, and now he's scouting every extra base on the map with his vultures to see, does he have something hidden somewhere? Because I've scouted near his main, and oh, he takes a mine hit. He's gonna lose both dragoons. He loses one dragoon. The other one now says, okay, wait, this is dangerous. I'm gonna back off now. But he's going one base carriers. He's going one base carriers. He's going one base carriers. Okay, so well, this is interesting. And I mean, he doesn't have a comset station. He doesn't know what's going on. If you're a Terran player and you see that your opponent has 0 extra bases around the map, then you're probably thinking it's DTs, I would think. And that's one of the reasons why he has these turrets around. He's not building turrets because he's like, oh, it could be carriers. He's building turrets because he says, okay, I need some vision, some quick, cheap vision, so that I can protect against Dark Templars. But it's not Dark Templars, it's carriers. This is insane. I don't think I've ever seen one base carriers before in a pro game. I cannot think of, I mean, this is, okay, he's now finally building his extra Nexus in his main. That's the little 4 mineral patch bonus expansion that I was talking about, which oov has taken, by the way. He's got a command center there, and he's mining off of it with a significant amount of SCVs there. So he's looking good in that sense. But again, neither player has 2 gases, because neither player has chosen to take the outside base. Oov, he's like, I want to expand, but I'm feeling like this is pretty risky. You know, it's risky for him to push out onto the map and try and take the upper expansion, because there's, I can't believe this is 1 base carriers, 1.5 base carriers, I guess. Oov, you know, suspecting something tricksy was going on because he didn't see any expansions out there, is saying like, okay, well, it's not safe to push out. I need to be defensive here. I need to have my choke point with tanks defending my choke point, with turrets, making sure I can see any cloaked units that are coming in. And so he's just chilling off this 1 base until he figures out what's going on. He has more vultures out on the map, just kind of poking around, just trying to, again, probably try and get a sense of what's going on the map right now. This is crazy. He's got 2 carriers, and now we see, okay, this is oov's first-person view. And, you know, he doesn't have vision of the Stargates is what we can see, basically. He hasn't been in Reach's base for a while, but he's deciding to push out regardless. So what he's going to try to do here is try and take this middle portion of the map, which will be able to get him, yeah, that 3rd base. And now he's building 2 comsat stations. When he comsats, I'm not sure if he's going to comsat for scouting or if he's going to save them, but we could see him comsat as soon as those comsat stations are complete. They're going to complete right now. Is he going to use them to scan to see what's going on? Is he going to bank them up for DTs? We're watching his first-person view to see if he does that. And he's not scanning. Oh, there he goes. He scans it. He scans it. He sees the carriers. He sees the carriers. Well, he doesn't see the carriers themselves, actually. He just sees the Stargate tech just at the edge of the vision there, but he actually didn't see the carriers themselves, and he doesn't realize necessarily that there's 2 out on the map already, and they are moving down the center of the map, and oov doesn't have anything to deal with this. He has built turrets. At the very least, he's kind of gotten a little bit lucky in that he's built turrets to make sure that he can't die to Dark Templars in the middle of the map, and as a result, he has some extra defenses against these, but he's building more turrets as well in the middle of the map, and Reach just comes in and says, I'm going to laugh at your little single turret there and go just straight down the middle. 2 carriers not giving any Fs, running all the way across the map by themselves with no support, killing turrets. The armory is not complete yet, so they're just killing turrets. They're going after the command centers as well, and Oov is counterattacking. He says, you know what? You need those carriers back at home, buddy, because otherwise you're going to die to this push. Because if you've built that much tech and had that many carriers in the air, there is no way that you can have a ground force to stop this push. So he's pushing across the map with a bunch of vultures. He's got his tanks as well. I mean, the tanks are just going to die to the carriers, so you might as well push them across the map and attack with them. And Reach doesn't have that many Dragoons. Is he going to die to the mines as well? He cannot lose Dragoons to mine fire right now. He needs to keep him alive. Instead, it's actually a tank fire that polishes things off. And what is he doing? No! Reach runs his carriers. He move commands his carriers through the turrets. He just lost a carrier to turret fire. No! An absolute epic fail from Reach. And now the vultures have, he chased the Dragoons off to the left, which means the vultures could just run right into his main and start killing off probes, killing off zealots as well. And now, oh man, this has just turned absolutely south. This has gone south so quickly. I mean, this game is like the fastest birds in the world in winter. That's going south so fast for Reach because he's just lost every single probe that he owns, and he lost one of his 2 carriers that he banked his entire game on. And now this single injured carrier is finally coming back. A good timing where the air carrier comes back at the same time that these Dragoons pop out, and they're able to deal with that. But I guess he doesn't even have observers. He built a robotics facility earlier, which I saw, but he didn't actually. Maybe he doesn't built an observatory yet. Yeah, and now, I mean, now Oov can start building Goliaths as well, but Reach is not mining, and there's the GG. What did we just watch? What? Look at that Reach on. Look at that Reach on his face. Look at that look on Reach's face. And Oov looks like packing up a little bit. Maybe he needs to take a break between games or something like that. But there's your winner of game 2, ladies and gentlemen. That was welcome to 2004 StarCraft. Welcome to 2004 StarCraft. 1 base carriers. And a little bit of panic there on Reach. Not the way he needed to respond. I think it probably would have been better for him to keep those carriers in Oov's base and just keep killing stuff, right? Those 2 carriers could have kept doing damage. He could have killed off the SCVs building armories, SCVs building turrets, and just gone to work at the SCV count. Instead, he said, I need these carriers back at home, otherwise I'm going to die, which was true, I guess, but they were too slow running across the map, and running them, just commanding them back home through turret fire so that he lost one of his 2 carriers on the way back was just catastrophic. I don't think, I guess I'm saying this in hindsight. Like in hindsight, even if he did get 2 carriers back without losing one to turret fire, it wouldn't have saved him. That we know that now, and so that's why I'm saying like it might have been better for him to keep his carriers in Oov's base and try and kill off the reinforcements as they spawn from factories or something like that. Yeah, losing one of those 2 carriers on the way back was really sealed the deal. So, well, we're at an even matchup now in this series, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1-1. Reach takes game 1. Oov takes game 2, stopping this cheesy little build that was probably part of the fact because they were on Pelennor, which is hard to expand on. But I can now say that I've seen 1 base carriers in pro play, and that's going to do it for game number 2. Series is tied up. We're going to go to game 3 next, and I hope you guys are enjoying the series. Thank you very much for watching.